Hi everybody, it's Anna back with Unearthed Arcana, and we are here again today with another episode of our Skyrim Wildlander modpack Let's Play series, following the permadeath adventures of Akai, our two-handed wielding, heavy-armored orc warrior lady. Just kind of looking over this beautiful Whiterun Plains sunset. This episode we actually have some company with us, and I don't just mean the beautiful Musashi. Aw, look at those beautiful eyes. What a good horsey. Good boy. We also have another very good boy, which is Farkas from the Companions.
We should keep moving.
Oh, I love Farkas. He's a man of few words. I kind of have a crush on this guy. I really like him.
Until next time.
I think the Companions make fun of Farkas a bit, and they say that he's like not very smart, and I think Farkas even makes a comment about that, but as far as I'm concerned, Farkas is one of the Companions with his head most screwed on straight. He has a really good sense of just kind of like worldly wisdom and general savvy. He's also really handsome, and he's just kind of like a man of action, which I really like. Farkas is awesome. And we have Farkas with us today because we are doing the Companions Proving Honor quest, which has taken us to Dustman's Cairn. This is the initiation quest for the Companions that after you've kind of grinded through all the Farkas and Aella jobs, you get this quest to actually prove your worth and retrieve a fragment of Wuthrad, which is the axe of Ysgramor. It's a really fun quest, and like one of my favorite quests to introduce us to the mid-game. Now that Akai is higher level and we finished out some of our early game content, we are now transitioning into the mid-game, and this quest is a great way to introduce us to many of those mid-game combat concepts. Just as a quick recap of last time, I'm actually going to hop onto Musashi's saddle here and head on over to the Dustman's Cairn entryway, just because I'm pretty sure that if I stand out there, my character's going to get cold. We also might have an animal attack us or something. It's a little easier to talk down here. Oh, nice work, Farkas. Just kind of like man of action, just jumping off the ledge there. I can dig it. I can dig it. Recap, though, instead of just gushing about how awesome Farkas is. Last episode, we did the Falkwraith Bandit Triangle, which is Bile Gulch Mine, Banner Mist Tower, and Knife Point Ridge. And we did that while showcasing the combat archery style of gameplay, which is all about close and mid-range archery-based skirmishing. Typically not a style I enjoy using too much. It is fun, though. Akai is going to be back to her heavy armor two-handed roots, but it was fun to play around with combat archery last episode. We were really over-leveled for this content right here, so it was a nice way to kind of mix that episode up and still make it fun, even though we could kind of carve through those bandits with ease. This episode, we're back at Whiterun Plains doing Dustman's Cairn, which is right near Greenspring Hollow and Redorand's Retreat. And this will be our introduction to the mid-game, which I'll talk more about in a second. As far as skills go, Akai did go from level 12 through 14 in between the last episode and this one. I have not assigned her perks yet. I did give her 2 extra points in health. And the reason I didn't assign her perks yet is because I really want to get two-handed up to level 50. At which point I will put those perks in Devastating Strike, which increases our power attack damage, and Devastating Charge, which unlocks the Sprinting Power Attack, which is a total game changer for how you play a heavy armored character. We may get this episode. We probably won't. Like, it's possible we level up two-handed like 3-4 more times, but I think it's pretty unlikely, so we'll probably hold off on Sprinting Power Attack until next time. And then as far as inventory goes, I upgraded the Ancient Nordic Hone Greatsword with just a Corundum Ingot and a Smith back in Whiterun. And then I had Adrian Avanici upgrade our Orcish Heavy Bow, as well as our Orcish Cuirass and Orcish Helmet. Last episode I'd been using the Nordic Helmet, the one that's kind of sculpted into the shape of a bear's head. And that's a cool looking helmet, but I really think the Orcish Cuirass and Orcish Helmet is such a great aesthetic on Akai that I'm going to stick with that for the foreseeable future. In addition to upgrading those things, I started to stock up on elemental resistance potions, shock, fire, and frost, as well as magic resistance potions. These are essential for surviving the mid-game in a permadeath run because you start to encounter more mages or enemies that have magical abilities. Without these, you can die really quickly. because magic goes right through your armor, and it can deal a ton of damage in a really, really quick burst. And then I stocked up on goods and greats and remarkable potions. At this point, we're probably not going to be using a lot of decent potions or crude potions, unless it's just to kind of stabilize us in between fights. Going over to Musashi, I am going to grab a carry weight potion, a stamina fortification potion, and 2 more of our restore health good potions. I think that's probably good for now. I'll grab a resist frost potion too, just in case for that final fight. Then I'll grab another scroll of fast healing, and I'm also going to grab a little bit of extra food here. Not the horker stew. Don't want the horker stew, but I will grab an extra beef stew just in case we need that. And I'll grab an extra mammoth cheese bowl. Mammoth cheese. Unpasteurized goodness. This is the kind of shit that, like, the new American Department of Health and Human Services is like, oh yeah, this is fine. Who needs vaccines when you have mammoth cheese to eat? That's okay. Akai honestly is probably on board with that style of, like, hard love health. And then Akai's also got some bones of Hircine with her as well. Okay, so that's it for our kind of item-based recap. As far as buffs go, I got beef stew already. I have Hircine's favor that's going to wear off soon, so we'll have to replenish that. And then I also got a meat pie and chicken dumpling. So, let's head into Dustman's Cairn and get this quest started. I'm going to assume that most people have actually played through the Companion's quest line and maybe, like, have seen spoilers. So I'm not going to talk too much about the lore here. Suffice to say that we're supposed to get this fragment of Wuthrad, and shenanigans happen along the way, and we'll kind of see those unfold as we get inside. Farkas will give some random commentary too.
Looks like someone's been digging here, and recently.
That's true, Farkas.
Tread lightly.
Tread lightly. I love it. Let's just add that to the list of, like, Farkas aphorisms. Like, we should keep moving and tread lightly. I like this. We're gonna start keeping track of all the Farkas aphorisms. I picked up these ruined books just as a reminder that when you're playing Wildlander, you can always break down ruined books into paper rolls. You can do that in the breakdown menu, which is the question mark key near the right shift. And when you break those down into paper, paper sells at 20 gold per roll, and it only weighs 0.01 pounds, so its value per weight is massive. As far as value per weight goes, if we sort by value per weight in my inventory, paper is just as valuable as my magical necklace and ring, so really great way to continue to loot even if you're tight on carry weight. I'm not going to do too much looting in this. I am going to hack open some chests though and grab some potions where I can. This is a two-handed skill book. I'll grab that too. The main reason for that is I'm a little light on stamina potions. Like, I only have 3 as opposed to health potions where I have about 10. I also have my superlative potions, which will fully restore both of these in a pinch. Dustman's Cairn itself, now that we can transition to the quest, there's a lot of Draugr in here, and to some extent the Draugr are just, like, not that difficult. Oh, easy there, buddy. And the reason they're not that difficult is because this guy's got frost magic. Gotta be a little careful with the frost magic, guys. They're just not that difficult because, like, we're level 14 right now. We have a bunch of perks, we got good items and stuff, so I'm just not as worried about them as I was in the past. Let's kill this Draugr here, I'll kill him in 2 hits. So the Draugr are not the most difficult part of this. Like, you'll encounter some of them and, you know, they might hit you or clip you or something, but not the biggest threat. The bigger threat in this particular dungeon is the Silver Hand mercenaries, which we'll talk about in a second. There's also some Draugr fights that are a bit harder towards the end, less so because of the enemies and more so because of the surroundings. We fight Draugr in close quarters, and there aren't any traps to kind of run them back to, so if you're not accustomed to fighting Draugr, that can make those fights harder. Let's grab this potion really quickly. Sometime this is a two-handed potion. I don't know what it was this time, like maybe it might have been this marksman potion. I don't know if we had that. Yeah, I think it was the marksman potion. I like how Farkas says this is like an old Nordic sacrifice area. You know, I never thought about it before, but I'm kind of wondering if like this is open to the elements up there, and there's this platform here. I'm wondering if the ancient Nords actually like put people here to sacrifice them to dragons that would fly down here. Never thought of that until now, but it's definitely an interesting kind of headcanon. I also, just as a funny side note, like Farkas, I'm gonna try to like, I don't want him to see me. You can kind of see him in the corner of our screen. He's like staring in deep contemplation at this throne. There's like nothing going on. He's just like, huh, chair made of stone. That's confusing. I love Farkas. He's the best. Okay, enough kind of like role-playing stuff. Let's get the quests moving. Let's loot these potions. We'll pull this lever. Pull the lever! Kind of like Kronk and Yzma style from Emperor's New Groove. Wrong lever! And now we're stuck in here. Farkas makes fun of us a bit, but he's helpful. He's gonna go get us out of here.
Now look what you got yourself into.
And then this is where the Silver Hand warriors, like, they're kind of like a warrior bandit group. I don't even know. Like, the Silver Hand feel like they should be the good guys because they kill werewolves, and most werewolves are pretty awful. I don't know, but they're kind of framed as the bad guys here. Farkas is gonna go all werewolf and just rip these people apart. Kind of pay attention to some of them. Some of them are gonna die before he even attacks them. Oh wow, they actually didn't. Okay, one of these guys might have fallen. I just love watching Farkas rip these guys apart. I think only one of them fell down before he actually attacked them. Sometimes like 2 or 3 of them will fall down like extras in a bad like 1970s kung fu movie.
I hope I didn't scare you.
Aw, Farkas, don't worry, you didn't scare me. I like to think that he earnestly didn't want me to be scared. He's got kind of a playful tone there, but I feel like Farkas also doesn't want to freak me out. And we're like, whoa, what was that, buddy? You became a fucking werewolf. I didn't know y'all were werewolves.
It's a blessing given to some of us. We can be like wild beasts, fearsome.
Fearsome. One other, we'll add this to the list of Farkas quotes, like just being fearsome. It's just a positive quality. Strive to be fearsome in your life. Fearsome like Farkas. Of course, our character's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We signed up to be sellswords. You're gonna make me a fucking werewolf?
Oh no. Only the circle have the beast.
He's got another great quote coming up here.
Eyes on the prey, not the horizon.
Eyes on the prey, not the horizon. I love Farkas. That's one of my favorite Farkas quotes. Also just like really good wisdom in your day-to-day life. It's like struggling with anxiety, struggling with social anxiety and depression. Eyes on the prey, not the horizon. Farkas, he really is the true therapist of the companions. Also he says like you're here to prove honor, which is kind of like a nice shout out to the name of the quest. Let's talk a little about Silver Hand mercenaries because these are kind of the scariest enemy in this dungeon. Silver Hand mercenaries, although they look like bandits, are actually mid-game enemies. And we'll see this when we fight them a little bit later. These guys are kind of scripted to just fall over the moment Farkas attacks them. But Silver Hand mercenaries tend to be around like level 30 through 50. And they tend to have a lot of the tier 2 mid-game perks that typically we wouldn't unlock until we hit skill level 50 in their respective trees. So they also tend to have really, really good loot on them. We're going to grab a silver greatsword because we need one for this dungeon. But they also have potions. They have like a silver ingot, and a whole bunch of potions that we can sell later. They got some gold. Sometimes they have other potions too. Funny note about this whole situation here is when Farkas transforms, he also has this Skyforged steel greatsword that he just drops. So like, if you want a Skyforged steel greatsword, you can just steal Farkas's right here. It's way better than the one that we have right now. But that kind of feels like cheating, so I'm just gonna like leave that here and pretend it's not real. The silver greatsword, though, I am going to grab that. That's going to be our backup weapon for the rest of the dungeon. If you don't have a silver greatsword yet, this is a great time to pick one up. Silver greatswords have a 50% damage multiplier versus the undead, and they're really, really great at carving through Draugr, so we're going to grab that. And then if it's a Silver Hand mercenary, we'll use our regular sword, otherwise we'll use a silver sword. So this dungeon's really interesting because, like, Farkas is like, if I just sit here and just block everything, I'm literally just gonna block everything. We're just gonna let Farkas just kind of kill these people. Or not. Like, there you go, Farkas. So you can kind of see how this dungeon, we can just let Farkas tank the entire thing and do most of the work for us. Like, we just blocked some stuff and took, like, basically no damage down here because we have good armor and we have block perks. So that is an option for us. We're not going to do that. We're going to actually show some areas coming up here in a second where you can't do that, where, like, you actually have to fight. But if you're really struggling with this more mid-game content, or at least early mid-game content, Farkas can always do the work for you. Speaking of preparing for the stuff up ahead, let me restore my Bone of Hircine, and that's probably it for now. Let's get the Bone of Hircine back. Going deeper into this dungeon, there is a point where we'll have to fight some Silver Hand mercenaries and Draugr, where Farkas can't help us as much, so we just have to be a little bit more on top of things. I hear someone coming, but I'm gonna quickly kill that Draugr with our Silver Greatsword.
Is someone there? There you are.
So we gotta be a little careful here. Interesting. So this is a really interesting point. You notice that Farkas is green right now. This is because one of these Silver Hand mercenaries actually applied a poison to their weapon before they hit Farkas with it. And that's because Silver Hand mercenaries, or fighters, or whatever they are, they're the first enemies we really encounter in this game that will apply poisons to their weapons, which is a hallmark of some other mid-game enemies. Like the sort of most notorious enemy in that category are the Falmer, who use poisons all the time. They're just like really horrible enemies. I hate fighting Falmer. But Silver Hand mercenaries are the first time that you really encounter the poisoned weapon stuff, which is another reason that these are kind of intro mid-game characters. I forget if that's trapped. Doesn't look like it is. Coming around the corner here, there's a master locked chest over here, which you need like a knock level 3 to open. If you're like a high level pickpocket, you could open it. We can't open it, so we're just not going to worry about it. Moving out of this area and moving further up ahead, though, we're going to come into this, I think it's this next room, but I'm not 100% sure, where we're going to fight some of these Silver Hand mercenaries. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to freeze Farkas's AI, so that way we can fight the Silver Hand mercenaries on our own without Farkas. I am going to kill this guy really quickly. I just don't want these Draugr to flank us while we're fighting other things. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay, some more Draugr here. Ow, I got power bashed right there. That's how I took that damage. You can kind of see that, like, again, Farkas is super, super beefy. And he can kind of carry you through this dungeon if you really, really need the help. And you'll see that sometimes the enemies don't necessarily aggro Farkas and they come after us, so we have to be prepared to fight and defend ourselves when needed. Okay, I think that's it for the enemies in this section, and we're coming up on this area where I think it's up here. There's a room with some Silver Hand up ahead here. I'm surprised I can't open that. Oh, it's probably because... Let me have some of my healing buffs. It's probably because I'm not at full HP. I probably need 200 HP to open this. Yeah, I needed 200 HP. Okay, so what we're going to do for this next room is I'm actually going to toggle Farkas's AI off here. So you can see he's just kind of like frozen solid. He's like extra stoic. I'm going to now go in this room and fight these Silver Hand on my own, just so you can see how these are more mid-game enemies. Pay attention if there's any greatsword people to the fact that they swing faster. Oh wow, there's a lot of people here. Ooh, ow. A little careful here. Ooh, so you can see that that guy's power attack swung a lot faster. There's an archer here, which I just heard like a shot. Where is this person? Up there? Like better positioning too. Okay, so this last guy right here, let's see if I can get him to swing. So you can see he swings a lot faster. We're going to talk about why that is in a second. Okay, so he's dead. So overall, like, we were still able to deal with this fight without too much difficulty, but this guy... Huh? Is there someone coming? Oh, I hear more Silver Hand mercenaries. This guy overextended. Oopsie. That guy's done. Side power attack her. Ugh, or she'll disrupt us with a bash. Oh my god, I totally whiffed that power attack follow-up. Okay, we got her there, so it didn't really matter. Whew, okay, Silver Hand mercenaries are all dead. Let me toggle Farkas' AI back on and he'll catch up to us. Now let's talk about these mercenaries, these fighter guys. So you probably noticed that even though we survived that fight and it wasn't like super difficult, that they had a lot of HP. Like this lady took a whole bunch of hits even though she only had light armor. And if we click on her, you'll notice that's because she's level 40 and her base HP was 370. If we go over here, we're in the console by the way, which is how we can see some enemy like perks and abilities. When we go to perks, we'll see that she actually had 2 points in battle axe focus and she had devastating strike. You might recognize those perks because we talked about those in the early game, or in the early part of this episode. So there's devastating strike, which for us is a level 50 perk, but she had it over there. That's because she's a mid-game enemy. She also had 2 points in battle axe focus, which is the equivalent of greatsword focus, and we only have 1 point in greatsword focus. So this just underscores that these Silver Hand people, especially if Farkas is not with you, like these guys can be relatively difficult and we just have to be a little bit careful when we're fighting them. Didn't have too many issues in that fight, like we were able to manage distance well and get our counter attacks and kill them. But they're still respectable enemies. Like this greatsword guy here, the reason that he was able to swing so fast, you know, 350 HP, is probably because he has greatsword focus. Let's look. Yep, he had 2 points in greatsword focus, which is why his greatsword swung so quickly. Ooh, he's got a dwarven salvaged cuirass. That's actually an upgrade over our current armor. Let me take a look at that and see if that's worth it. It might look really fucking stupid though. It doesn't look that stupid. It doesn't look that great though with our helmet. How much worse? It is a lot better. It's 8. I don't know. We're gonna stick with the orcish cuirass. I'm just gonna kind of headcanon that like Akai, who's gigantic, is not going to fit into the armor for this like scrawny little dead elf. Like look how scrawny and small this guy is. Whee! Oh, it's super disrespectful. Anyway, so we're gonna say that we just don't fit into that armor. Okay, let's keep going here. You'll notice I've just been looting some of the more valuable items. Coming up to this next part of the dungeon, I think it's through this door. We're kind of in the home stretch of this dungeon as we get towards the boss area. One of the challenges at the end part of this dungeon is that things get very chaotic in these last few rooms. It's just like enemies that kind of stream in at you one at a time. Or rather, not one at a time, but kind of in waves. Oh jeez, Silver Hand right here. Oh my god. You can hear the Death Lords like blasting their shouts down below us. There's like a whole scripted battle happening down there, which it's gonna finish off before we get down there, but we'll have to fight the stragglers and the survivors. Okay, let's quickly do some cleanup duty on these sleeping Draugr so that way they don't flank and ambush us as we're working through this section. I think we're okay here. I'll be a little careful because like we heard that there were Death Lords here. Oh hell. Bad follow-up swing. Eek. Almost ate that follow-up swing there. Let's quickly kill this guy. Have to block that. Ooh, it's slow there. Let's see if we can get a timed block on this guy. Nah, no time block. That's okay. I'm still gonna get to kill this guy. That was pretty tanky, actually. I don't know where Farkas went either. Farkas is just freaking gone. Alright, whatever. We'll figure out where Farkas is. Worst case scenario is I can use the console to bring him towards me, and honestly, this is more fun this way. Oh, that's a Death Lord. We got. Oh, jeez. So anytime we fight these Death Lords, we just gotta make sure that we're not getting totally smashed by their shouts and kind of bashed around. so that guy's done. He did clip us with his shield, but like nothing too serious. I think that's probably it for the enemies here. I was worried this was Farkas for a second, but it looks like it's a Silver Hand mercenary. Okay, so that's probably it for all the bad guys. I don't know where the fuck Farkas went. Like I said, I'm gonna use the console to bring him towards us if we have to, but for now I'm just gonna clear this out on our own. This is a good example of why you can't always rely on Farkas. Oh jeez, I'm really glad that Deathlord just like totally aimed that really stupidly. Because if he didn't aim that stupidly, he would have hit me. 3 nice little circling power attacks there to bring that guy down. Jeez, there's a ton of fucking Deathlords here. Okay, should get that guy down. Fuck you, buddy, with your power bash. Fuck you with the power bash. Is there a— oh, jeez, another Deathlord. Yikes! It's not the end of the world if we get hit by that, but like, I'd rather not get hit by that. Let's see if we can do the circling power attacks on this guy again. Jeez. We got a timed block on it. There's Farkas, just in time, Farkas. Nice of you to join us. Okay, Farkas finishes him off. I appreciate Farkas, like, he's here eventually. Whew, okay, well that was a nice kind of series of engagements there. Let me just go over to this chest and grab the key. My character was also thirsty, and I'm sure my character's beef stew is expired. Oh, it actually hasn't expired yet. I'm still gonna have another meat pie and beef stew, and I'll have another cheese bowl just to be on the safe side. So that was kind of a good example of how the endless stream of Draugr, like, that can become overwhelming if you're not managing it correctly, or if you and Farkas get separated. Ugh, these stupid skeevers. Let's go back to our combat archery roots and just like kind of plink these skeevers from afar. I think there's another one here. Is that one? It's another skeever. Oh, sorry, Farkas! Don't stand in the fire, buddy! Goodbye. Oh, there's another one here. These skeevers are super annoying because like if you don't kill them quickly, they end up just like running away. Then you're in combat with them. I just find it's just quicker to just like kill them with a bow. I don't know if there's any other skeevers. That might have been the last of them. Well, I hear some spiders though. Forgot about the spiders in here. Oh Jesus, that's a big fucking spider. Okay. Oh fuck, Farkas. Are we gonna fight that thing? I'm actually just gonna straight up let Farkas tank this. Okay. Whew. Big spiders are really scary. Big spiders are like honestly more of a late mid-game or like solidly mid-game enemy. Farkas is fine because he's super beefy and he can tank really hard, but that big spider could have easily killed us in 1 or 2 hits if we weren't careful. I have nothing against Farkas being like the one who tanks that a little bit. Ooh, that was close. Kinda got a little sloppy there. Oh my god, the skeever! The skeever was like hanging out with this Draugr. Now I'm sure we're stuck in combat with this skeever and we're just gonna have to chase the skeever all over the map. Yup, there's the red border. It's because we're stuck in combat with this skeever right here. Right, well, let's just— oh jeez. Okay, well we didn't hit Farkas. I was worried I almost shot Farkas trying to kill that skeever. Okay, we are at the last room now. This is the Dustman's Cairn finale, the final boss area. Let's kind of like walk through this and talk about it a little bit as we get in this room. In general, anytime you're in really any video game, but definitely in Skyrim, and you come to these big open rooms like this with like a wall at the back and an altar, you should assume to yourself, huh, this was like a boss battle. And particularly in Wildlander, these boss battles can be really scary. This one is just Draugr, but rooms like this can also have like really powerful mages. You can have dragon priests in a room like this. So you just gotta be really careful in rooms like this. We'll deal with this word wall thing at the end, but for now I'm actually gonna go loot this treasure chest because we can loot that before we even do the fight. I'm just curious what's in it. Alright, Necklace of Dwindling Shock, it's pretty good. Conjuration, and then a Ring of Recuperation. These are solid items, but they're not like any better than what we're currently using with our two-hander ring and our necklace of the Eminent Squire. This will be good when we fight mages, but for now we don't really need to grab those. Honestly, I'm also going to save right here. And the reason I'm going to save is just because we had a crash last episode. Alright, so let's grab these potions. We're going to grab that shard of Wuthrad right there. Before we do that, let's get Iron Flesh going, because this fight's a little chaotic. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to hotkey my block potion and my armor rating good potion. And we'll use both of those in this upcoming fight. Let's have the Fortify Health potion and the Stamina potion just to be on the safe side. Let's do a Resist Frost potion just in case any of these Draugr have frost stuff. And then we'll do a Resist Magic Decent for a little bit of extra insulation. And then as soon as... Oh god, I just hit the wrong fucking button. Oh, that's a fucking disaster. I just used my Restore Stamina potion. Ugh, that's so bad. I hit the wrong hotkey. Alright, well let's grab the Shard of Wuthrad and let's start this battle and like let's not get thrown off too much. Okay, so let's fight these Draugr here. Get my potions. Is there another one here? We have to be a little careful at managing these guys. Generally speaking, if we stick near Farkas, like we'll probably be better at kind of like separating out the enemies and killing them. We just gotta be careful for these like shouts and stuff like that. I think one's flanking me? Oh, maybe not. Look how this guy's like running away. Doesn't look like we have any Death Lords yet though. So that guy's down. Honestly, this is pretty anticlimactic so far. Like, not a lot of Death Lords. No enemies with frost magic. Oh, never mind. There's the fucking Death Lord. Let's pop a decent health potion as we get back on our feet just to get some passive regen going. Okay, let's kill this guy first. Just so he doesn't flank us. So that guy's done. Let's run back up here. Chop down this guy. Surprised that dude's not dead. That guy's down. Let's flank this guy as Farkas gets to work on him. I don't know if that... I think, yeah, there's still more of them coming. Sometimes, if you get the timing right, you can kill these guys right as they come out of their coffins. Let's get this guy right here. Nice little timed block there. Get the flank on that guy. Timed block on that guy. Let's get the flank. Knock that guy down. Farkas looks kind of stuck. Let's pop a stamina potion just so we can get a little sprinting in. Chop that guy down. Okay, both those guys are dead. Doesn't look like there's too many more. Like, I heard one more coffin over there. Let's hunt this guy down. He's still alive. Okay, that guy's dead now. Another little Draugr here. Power attack. Let's get the follow-up power attack. Bring that guy down. Okay, I think that's it. That was a pretty fun fight. Not as many Death Lords as I would have liked. Like, it's much more fun when there's like 3 or 4 Death Lords and they're kind of bouncing you around the room and everything. Still a super fun fight and kind of exciting to get to see two-handed armor like running around just smashing people, plus we had good potions there too, so kind of a fun fight to play out as well. Okay, let's grab these soul gems and then let's quickly turn music back on, just so that way we can get the satisfaction of the Dragonborn shout at the end here. La, ya, 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 la. You also get my silly singing solo. It's kind of the added benefit of that. Let's turn the music back off to avoid any copyright issues. And our character also leveled up, which is really cool. In fact, let's just do that right now. Let's get another point in health. We still don't have 50 in two-handed. Like, we're really close, but we're not quite there. I'm just gonna save these perks for next time because we'll have 50 in two-handed by then, and then I'm gonna put 1 in Greatsword Focus and then the other 2 up here in the Devastating perks. Overall, though, that's kind of it for the episode today. I'll kind of walk out of here and just do a little bit of wrap-up looting as we talk. So big takeaways from this kind of introductory mid-game dungeon. Silverhand fighters can be super scary. They have more perks than your average bandit. They hit harder, they hit faster, they have more HP. They also use poisons, which can sometimes catch you off guard, especially if it's like a paralysis poison and then you get knocked down and surrounded. So it's a little bit of a harder fight there, but we were able to manage that really well. And then the Draugr in here, they can really quickly overwhelm you if you don't manage them. Plus you fight them in a very confined space, which simulates some of the other mid-game fights that will happen over the course of your Skyrim Wildlander mid-game. There goes Iron Skin. So our Iron Skin got worn off. So we are done with the episode though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording and then do a bunch of looting, turn in the quest, and then transition into some more like proper mid-game quests. I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do. You know, I'd been grinding these animal extermination quests before Proving Honor as a way to try to get Ayala to send me over to Dark Shade, like Copse or Cave or whatever it's called, which is a troll dungeon right next to Valtheim Towers. I might just go do that. I also might jump into some other more like mid-game dungeons, like maybe I'll start doing some Dwemer Ruins or some Falmer Caves. There's some mage stuff that I'll eventually do. There's some vampire areas that I'll do that don't have ebony vampires. Those are more of a kind of later middle game, early late game enemy. But those without ebony vampires could be viable for us. So I'll figure it out for next time. Thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the episode as we start to transition into the mid-game here. If you have any questions or comments or feedback, let me know below, or come find me on Discord, and if not, I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye everyone.